Yo, what's up guys? Dark Glocks here. Today we're going to be talking about Johnny Glock triggers versus the OEM trigger. I have 5 Johnny Glock triggers. I have them in all my Glocks. Probably going to be putting one in my RXM soon for the Timney trigger to replace it with his. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. As you can see, I have these marked with tape. Let's go ahead and not flag myself. I have these marked with tape so you can kind of see the differences in the pre-travel. Also, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Empty, no magazine. Empty, no magazine. You know, YouTube rules, all that good stuff. Anyways, took my 5th one out from my 23 Gen 5 just so we could do this comparison. And yes, I have a little bit of paint on my finger from my daughter earlier. Sorry about that. Anyways, so I have it marked from the tip of the trigger shoe to tip of the trigger shoe when you hit the wall. So boom, boom. And then this, I have a minus connector in it, so it takes a while to get to the brake. Reset, brake, reset, brake. Now let's do it with the Johnny Glock. As you can see on his, the take up is significantly shorter. I know it probably only looks like a little bit, but a little bit makes a lot of difference on the trigger. So here's your take up, wall, take up, wall. And then you get a nice clean glass rod brake. Go ahead and do the reset. Brake. Reset. Brake. Now, one of the things that I've come to realize is they do feel a little bit different between generations. Not like any significant huge difference, but just little tiny bits. I'm gonna go ahead, this is Gen 4. We're gonna show it in my other Gen 4, which is a 27 clear. Yes, I have it in a 27. That should tell you I really like these triggers. Take up, brake, reset, brake, reset, brake. The reset's actually pretty crazy on this one. But like I was saying, there's a little bit of differences between like Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5. We'll go ahead and show it in the 45 even. Reset, brake, reset, brake. And then we'll go ahead and show the take up on this one as well. I mean, that take up is just boom, crazy. The only other thing I've seen have a take up that short would be, like I showed earlier, the Timney. The Timney has a pretty crazy one. Right there. Right there. But this, yes, I have a dummy round in it. It's not a real bullet for YouTube's AI, just in case they happen to see it somehow. That is a 3-pound brake, which is pretty wild. I don't know. I wouldn't carry that. Also, one of the things, if you're worried about like safety wise, if you look at the trigger safety tab on the OEM one versus his, you see that piece in the back, his is way bigger, so there's no possible way, like if you could yank on this thing all day, it's not going to go up in there unless you activate the trigger safety, just like it won't on the OEM. But just wanted to point that out. Now that is one thing, in case anyone's curious. I know I'm kind of mixing them here, but on the chimney, as you can see, that one's not very big. So I mean, if you just barely bump that, it's going through. Or if there's a set screw just like on Johnny's. If you overdo it, your trigger will actually start like this, and like, I mean, it like lands set like this, so people end up messing it up. And then, because once you have that passed, it's going no matter what. It's gonna go. Like if it's past that point, no, it's not. Hang on. Like if you just barely touch that, it's, even if your finger's not on that, boom, it's going. Anyways, moving on. We're gonna show it in the Glock 43X. Once again, clear, in the magazine, all that good stuff. He makes something, it's called the 4311. Sorry, getting kind of ahead of myself here. If you just get the trigger shoe, it helps you a lot. Or you can get the trigger shoe, his bar, the connector, and he sends like little springs with him for up here in your slide that you can change. That makes a huge difference. He uses Glock OEM parts. He just refines and modifies them, making them better, making the action smoother, all that good stuff. They come super polished. But if you want to go the cheaper route, instead of getting the full trigger kit, you could just get the shoe if you don't want to change anything else, or you can get the shoe, the bar, and one of his connectors, like I said, and that really makes a difference. Or he even says if you just get his striker, it helps out a lot. But anyways, he makes something called the 4311. Now this is my version of the 4311. I don't have it, but this might as well be it. So we're gonna go ahead. There's a little wall here, but I have a minus connector in this instead of a dot connector. Typically I prefer dot connectors, but it all depends on the gun and what I'm trying to get. But here's your little wall, but then you come back here, break, and then reset, break, reset, break. Now, the reason I say that it's pretty much the 4311 is when I look at videos, the reset, everything looks the same. Also, he says his 4311 is about 3 pounds to 3.5 pounds. Well, I'm going to show you here. Mine, I've done some stuff to it to where we're breaking at 3.5 all the time. Well, that makes me look like a liar. That one hit 3.7. I probably pulled that one a little too hard. It got caught on the carpet. Let's go ahead and do it again. There we go. 3.5 on the nose. Do it one more time just for... Yep, 3.5. Anyways, I know there's a bunch of reviews on these things. I just wanted to give my own little spin on it. If you guys like this kind of content, reviews, things like that, if you have any questions regarding these, go ahead and leave me a comment. I'll help you out best I can. And, do all the stuff, like, share, anything like that. Appreciate you guys. Bye.